I'm interviewing David. Hi, David.
Hi Ruby, thanks for having me on your show.
What are you doing in the Philippines?
This year I'm working at an orphanage in the Philippines called the Ruel Foundation. We take care of children who are sick and whose family can't look after them anymore.
How old were you when you first sponsored a child through Compassion?
I started sponsoring with Compassion in 2006 and I was 25 years old.
What is the most number of children that you have sponsored at once?
Blah, blah.
In 2012 I sponsored 50 children at the one time from 26 countries.
Just a minute, David. I don't think I heard you correctly. Please repeat that number.
No, you heard correctly, 50 kids, and I did it because God provided for me to do it.
You must be rich.
No, I'm not rich, Ruby. The job that I get paid to do is as a teacher, and as all teachers will tell you, we don't get paid enough money. No, I'm just kidding. I'm happy with the amount that we get paid, but I'm definitely not a rich person. I'm just an ordinary man using what God's given me to help others.
Since you weren't rich, it sounds like you live simply.
That's exactly right, Ruby. I live simply. I've learned what it is to be content, which means being happy with what I have and not always wanting other people's stuff. I believe God wants Christians to use what they've been given, what He's given us, to help others. And that's what I'm doing.
Have you visited any of the children you sponsored?
Yes, I've been on quite a few overseas adventures in the last few years. I've visited 31 of my kids in 12 countries.
What was the best experience?
Wow, you sure know how to ask the tough questions, Ruby. Goodness me. There's been so many amazing experiences visiting my sponsored kids, but I think for me the best thing is being able to take them to places like restaurants and fun parks and zoos and even a shopping mall for the first time, because a lot of them, they can't afford to go to places like that. And I think kids in Australia, we go to those places a lot, and I think we don't always appreciate it, but they were so excited to go and eat at a restaurant, and it was just really special to be able to give them those experiences for the first time.
Do you think Compassion Child sponsorship works?
You know what, Ruby? The answer to that question is a big fat yes, and I'll tell you why. When kids are enrolled with Compassion, they receive lots of things. Okay, they receive help with their school, they receive medical care, they receive clean water and healthy food, which often they don't get at home. They're paired with a loving sponsor who encourages and supports them, and they have the opportunity, to the best of all, they have an opportunity to have a relationship with Jesus, which is the thing that gives them hope.
Have you any last words for our listeners here today?
Hi everyone out there. Well, as you can tell from this interview, I'm a bit of a crazy, passionate compassion guy. And the reason for that is simple. I've seen that it works. In all my travels visiting families and communities, I've seen real poverty up close, heartbreak, despair and tragedy. And from my experiences, truly the only answer for all this, the only solution, is God working through the church and compassion. If I had to sum it all up in one word, it would be hope. I saw true hopelessness up close, and it was horrifying. But that's where compassion comes in, that's where the church comes in, and that's where we as sponsors come in. Everything that a child receives from Compassion, the education, the medical care, the food, the water, the encouragement and love from the sponsors, gradually undoes the damage that poverty inflicts on people from a very young age. And then it's topped off with the opportunity to have a relationship with Jesus, which is the thing that really offers true hope for this life and the next. It's amazing to be a part of, and if you aren't already, I encourage you to join us as a Compassion sponsor.
Thank you so much for your time today, David.
You're welcome, Ruby. Thanks for having me on the show.
Over and out.